beautiful day to practice. Basically, we worked on fundamental techniques. We got to keep working on that every day. Worked a little bit on the game plan at the end. We'll do more of that tomorrow. We got to get better, obviously, on both sides. Tough game coming up. Speed of the game is going to be fast, and we didn't condition today. We're trying to get our legs back a little bit. We looked a little bit leg weary Saturday, getting about midpoint of the season, but good practice. Most everybody practiced. Kenny Williams was out here. He's probably 90%. He should be 100% by Saturday. So looked like we're in pretty good shape. Questions?
With Jackson Richard just being his first year to start and starting every game, how have you felt about him so
He's
far?
played well. You know, Jackson's one of those guys. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's worked on his strength. He's gained a little bit of weight. You know, we'd like to play him inside some on pass rush, but you know, we've done pretty good inside until the last game. But he's you know, he's one of those guys that watches a lot of film. He's a technique guy all the way. He'll get better every day just by, you know, his concentration on working on all the little things. But Coach Prunty's pushed him hard, and you know, I think he's about a year ahead of himself. You know, I didn't think he'd play this well against some of the teams that we played to this point. But I tell you what, he had a great off season, and he stayed healthy, and he's doing great.
There's one thing that you really have to do against Gino to kind of limit him in some way. Obviously, there's not one thing, but what's maybe the most important?
He needs
thing?
to have a bad day, and he hadn't had many of those. Again, I've watched him practice with Eli and Peyton at the Manning camp. Watched him throw. He's got a great release. He's very accurate with the ball, and you know, he's got the height, you know, that it takes to, you know, he doesn't throw up, he throws down, and throws a deep ball well, and it helps to have speed he's got. But you know, you can tell he's picked up this offense well. He's gotten better and better. Struggled a couple of games early, you know, with the execution, but everybody has early. But he's gotten better, and you know, to ask what you do, you just got to play and hope you disrupt, you know, timing, those things. But you know, when you play good quarterbacks, you know what to expect. You just can't get caught off guard, and you know he's going to get his bats and he's going to make his strikes, and you got to get back in the huddle and play again.
You said Monday that the team needs to get its fun back. I mean, how do you start that process?
Well, you know, we've been working the heck out of them. You know, we lift weights, we run after practice, and we do a lot of running during practice. And usually at about middle of the year, we cut back, you know, on conditioning and stuff. And I talk to the seniors, and they, you know, they're not complaining about conditioning this time of year. They just ask them, you know, what they thought about Saturday and how'd they feel. And some of them's legs were a little tired, you know, a little heavy. And games like that, you know, you got to be 100%. So now that we're getting, this is halfway point of the season, then we'll jump in, you know, mode of trying to get these guys back fresh every week, put a game plan in, and try to hit it full speed. We're going to need it.
Seems like through the first 5 games, about 10 different guys have caught the ball. Would you like to see that reduced to where it's maybe 2 or 3 or 4, where it's maybe a little less spread around?
You know, I think as we get through the season, you'll probably see that. But right now, we've got a lot of guys that are practicing well, and Seth's got a lot of confidence in them. And we go a lot by what he says. You know, we talk to him about it, and you know, with the coaches, but he's got a lot of confidence in all the guys catching and their route running. And you know, if there was a big drop off from some of the guys, it'd be different. But you know, when you put a Bradley Marquez in behind Eric Ward, there ain't a lot of drop off, and so you can't not play those guys and keep them fresh. You know, they do get gassed. You know, last week, for instance, a running back, you know, Sedell, he's out there 25 plays. You know, that's a quarter for the defense. You know, but he's tired. He's not used to it. But our receivers are, you know, if we just keep them all going and keep them healthy, and keep them all playing together, by the time we get to 8th or 9th game, we'll be in good shape, because you know, they won't have played as many snaps. You know, so you put some of the guys out there and think you can play them, you know, 3/4 of the time, you'll start losing production and execution, and then your other guys will drop off because they obviously won't work as hard in practice.
Do you call this game any different because of their ability to score?
No, not really. I mean, you got to understand what you're going up against and see the tempo of the game. You know, we got to play better on offense. If we don't, we're not going to win this game. I mean, that's the bottom line. I don't care how we play on defense. We've got to start, you know, put some yards together, drives together. But on the other side, we got to create turnovers. I mean, we can't go in the game and play a team like this and think if they have no turnovers that we're going to be successful. It's not going to happen. I mean, you know, they're a top 5 team coming in. the second team coming in there, people's mentioned for a national championship. I mean, that's hard, and so we've got to understand where we're at, but we understand we can control our own pace and play hard and give it our best shot. This is a funny game. We played a team last week that was fresh. I mean, this group now we're playing this time, they've won 2 close games, done a lot of traveling. They're going to not be near as fresh as that group coming in there last week. So you don't count on that, but you got to understand that, hey, we're at home, we're fresh, we're not going to do as much conditioning. We know we're going to be out there a lot on defense. We just got to make plays on both sides of the ball.
You've had a knack for really, really big games in your career. How do you approach this one any different?
Well, I can look back on all of most of those have been at home, and most of those were caused by crowd. I mean, the crowds were just unbelievable. Just the sound was deafening, and we got to have that. I mean, I know we didn't play good the other day, but we didn't have a lot of crowd noise either the second half. I mean, there's got to be a turning point where we've got people that got to say, hey, we can come back in this thing. We're going to help our players come back. That's not a point where you just count on it, but we've got to get that mentality. But it's to win big games, you've got to create something early, but you also got to build that momentum all throughout the game. And I played top 5 teams before. We played first half and we just got our tails wiped, and we come back out the second half and won the game. I mean, so you can't slow down. I mean, you got to always count that you can come back and get it done. And I think this team can get it done. Might not this week, but we're going to play a lot of other good teams.
All right, first of all, I just want to give God the praise and glory for allowing me to have this interview. Second of all, we're very excited. We finally get to face a great group of receivers and a Heisman quarterback at that. So we're going to work hard in practice. Today was a good day, but we got some things to improve on, so we'll hopefully do that tomorrow.
How much do you look forward to games like this and taking on players that obviously a lot of people have heard about and things, players like that, like Geno Smith, like Tavon Austin, those guys?
It's always fun, shall I say. Like, you always, if you want to be the best, you got to go against the best. So you always want to catch everyone's A game, so there's no excuses. So these are the kind of games you kind of work for from the start of spring ball, even in fall camp, summer workouts. These are games you look forward to as a DB.
How do you slow this offense down?
Really, no one's been able to do that, but hopefully we got to get pressure on Geno Smith and stop the run and make him one-dimensional.
What you guys as DBs, do you lick your chops in games like this because you know they're going to throw it around?
Oh, yes, sir. Why wouldn't you? Only the best. You only want to go against the best, and that's when you prove yourself, and that's when you show the pretenders and the real people.
Just talk about this week ahead and how excited are you guys, especially the DBs, to take on a team like this?
We're very excited. I mean, this is a great opportunity. I mean, each week is a great opportunity to make plays, and this national TV. You got top 5 team. I mean, and they got 3 players I've seen for the Heisman. So I mean, it's gonna be a great game. I can't wait.
What is it about these types of games that makes you guys get excited?
Just the intensity. I mean, it's the environment. It's sold-out stadium. I mean, it's gonna be oh man, I'm getting the chills right now thinking about it. But just the environment, really. The fans, the players. I mean, just the hype about it.
How do you slow down that offense?
Just run the plays called by Coach Kaufman.
Right. Talk a little bit about Geno, though, and what have you seen on tape from him?
We got it. Oh, he's talking to me. We just got to go out there. I mean, we got to get pressure on the ball. We have to get pressure on the ball. We have to stay on the receivers. And even after they run their routes, I mean, they still run around. So I mean, we have to stay on them hard the whole time. So I mean, that's the key. Just stay on them.